Today we are here at Bernice Spectrum Community Center, and this is the second or the third time that I've been here for the same issue. The seniors are feeling that they are getting the lip service. Promises, 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 but delivery is not happening. They are not happy. They feel like they need to speak, they need answers, and they need this to happen. I'm going to go forward, and one of the seniors are going to speak and voice her concerns, and then followed by another.
Good afternoon. My name is Margaret Gonzalez, and I'm a member here at the Senior Center at Coyne Park. And I'm very, very concerned because we understand that the center was going through renovations, and they were very kind to have outdoor exercises and programs going on, and that was suddenly stopped in March. The bathroom facilities are not, there's no water. We're told that that was closed for the winter. So we have absolutely no programs at this side of Yonkers for the senior center, for the senior citizens who live here. Everything is on the other side of Yonkers. We have nothing here, and we're not getting any straight answers. You ask the Parks Department, and they say, well, we don't know when Coyne Park is going to open. We don't know when the exercise programs are coming back. Nobody seems to know anything. There's a lot of people here that are in charge, but nobody knows anything. So we want some answers. We want our senior center back opened. We want the bathroom facilities open for us. It's not asking a lot. And we want our exercise programs and all the things back here in Coyne Park. We have a great population here in Coyne Park. So that's our issue, and thank you. I'll pass it on to my colleague.
Those are your demands. Who is coming forward again, please?
Okay, my name is Sylvia St. Clair, and I am a member here at the center. More than 2 months ago, Mr. Rubbo called me, because I had called him before, to let me know that the center was going to be open in about 2 weeks. This happened more than 2 months ago. Okay, the center is still closed. Then they say that the center is closed only for 7 months. Lie. That's the second time they closed the center. They closed it before. Altogether, it's close to 2 years that the center is closed. Okay? In another one, Mr. Rubbo lied to me. And I don't vote for a person that lied to me. Thank you very much.
My name is Corinne Flacco. I was at the meeting last year in June when the mayor was there, John Rubio, and they gave us all this lip service of what was going to be done. So far, we haven't heard anything. We were promised that an automatic door was going to be put up so that the seniors in wheelchairs, with their canes, with their walkers, could just walk up and the door would open automatically. A handicap bathroom would be put in. Finally, in the senior center, a handicap bathroom. And then they were going to fix different things. Now, what I want to know is, did they do all of this? Did they put MERV 13 filters in the air conditioners so we could breathe better? Did they put a new appliance in the kitchen so people could maybe put their lunches in? Did they fix all the floors and everything? Did they get us new microphones so when we have our meetings, people could, instead of saying, what did he say? What did he say? They'll know what he said. And this is what's promised to us. We haven't heard a thing. And we're all worried. I was 88 years last year. I'm 89 now, and I'm still waiting. And you better hurry up and open. I haven't got much time now. Remember that. I want answers. We want to enjoy ourselves. We are the seniors. We are the backbone of America. And nobody believes that. And if it wasn't for us, nobody would be here.
That's right.
Thank you.
Well done.
Well done. Well done.
Hey, yeah.
You should.
I haven't got the time.
You should.
Hello, I'm Doreen. I'm also a member at Spreckman. First, I want to thank Parks, Recreation, and Conservation for the first time finally posting and showing some transparency of a renovation done to correct some of the violations caused by unsafe and unhealthy conditions inside of our center. Spreckman Community Center that houses us seniors. Interestingly, The first posting appeared after a podcast last week as concerned people spoke about the violations and after 2 years of physically handing documents with pictures to the city that were ignored. Some of the items that were posted were that 2 of the 4 bathrooms are now ADA compliant and handicapped accessible. Good. How come there was no picture of that? Why weren't the 2 other bathrooms also renovated? They are used by the little learners who are younger than 5 years old. Why should they be subjected to using rusty, cold, non-insulated bathrooms? Why, number 2, when we seniors mentioned that the exposed beams on the ceiling caused insect droppings on our seniors' heads, the beams are still exposed? We were told the uneven floor that some seniors had fallen and wound up in the hospital would be repaired. It wasn't listed as work done or as a picture. Will it still be a danger for our seniors to walk inside? We have air conditioning and heat air ducts that have not been cleaned out in probably decades. That can cause unhealthy breathing issues. Why no listing if that was done? To continue, since Spreckman is now a community center, anyone from the community can walk in even during the hours our seniors are there. We need a panic button linked to the police station for our safety if needed. Also, we have seniors who use canes, wheelchairs, and walkers. They should have access to enter the building from the parking lot instead of struggling to walk to the front of the building. We need some kind of motion detector or a buzzer so the leaders from the office can allow them to enter. Finally, we seniors at Spreckman Community Center are entitled to know what the plenty more means that was listed in the Facebook message. We want more continued transparency about what other work will need to be done, when it will be done, in realistic time. We don't want any more promises made and promises broken about a center's reopening that has now been approximated for a couple of weeks. Surely, everyone would agree it's a way for the politicians to get our vote. Thank you.
We've been waiting the longest time and no answer. And it's a very,
Hi, I'm Barbara, and I'm a member of this center. My question is very simple. When will the center be opened? We've waited long enough, and we're all anxious to get back and enjoy this center. We should be able to get this answer. I don't think it's asking too much. We waited long enough, and I think a date should be given. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Janice Phillips. There seemed to be a misunderstanding on what's going on here at the center. The center was closed March 20th, 2020. The center reopened July 6th of 2021 and was closed again on September 3rd, 2021. Since then, we haven't been able to get any information. What's happening right now and the reason why we feel like we have to protest, because we wanted to know what was going on in the center, what was happening, what were they doing. We were not getting any answers at all. Now that we said that we would have a protest, now it's all over Facebook, everything that was done inside, but we weren't shown the bathrooms. The water fountain was fixed, but none of that was shown. We just wanted to get back into our center, and we wanted to have when will we be able to go into the center instead of us having to sit out here. Yes, they said there were other centers that we could go to, but some of the people don't have cars and they can't get over across town to go to another center. And this is why we're here today. We would like to get back into our center. Some of the members just showed me right now that some of the handicapped parking seems to be taken away from here. We have a lot of members that have cane, walkers, wheelchair, and now some of the handicap spots are gone. That's another concern to help our seniors. We thought that we was going to have the back door being accessible for the seniors to get in and out, but still they have to go all the way when they park their car, all the way to the front to get into the building when all these handicap spots are right here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Janet.
Good, Johnny, good.
Anyone else has anything to say?
Good afternoon. My name is Danny Diaz. I've been coming to the senior center for about 17 years, and I want to come home.
Yay. What did you say?
Anyone else? Anyone else? Well, now we have Councilman John Rubbo. Mr. Rubbo, can you come here and speak from the?
Yeah, I don't want to put my back to anyone.
Okay, so we do it from here.
So the center was not closed for 2 years, right? And in the midst of it, we had a global pandemic. So the center was closed from March of 2020, like every other center and every other business and everything around the city. It was closed from March 2020 until the summer of last year, right, 21. And the mayor and I came out in April of 21, and we met with a big group. Even before the mayor came out, I came out with the Deputy Parks Commissioner, Steve Sansone, now he's the commissioner, and Tony Landy. And Tony Landy is now the deputy mayor. And when we came out, a group of us, there were about 5 or 6 seniors, I guess they were part of the board, and we all sat just over there on those tables. Tony Landy said, it's going to take a year by the time we get in there and do all the construction. The construction's going to take a year before we can get it open. So far the center has been closed for 7 months. Now the reason why the center has been closed since September, right? Is there any disagreement that the center has been closed under construction since September?
We don't know.
So since September they've been doing work. And I'm going to bring you in there today. I want you to see the work, right? Because not
They didn't do the work while they was closed the first year, Mr. Rubbo.
So as we explained several times, and not everyone was here, so I'm going to say it again. The Parks Commissioner came with a plan to update lots of the different centers around the city. Coin was the second center to be upgraded. The first one was Chima on Broadway, because that's a nutrition site. So that was the first center. The second center is Coin. So we approved the money to be borrowed so we could do the work inside in June of 2020. In January of 2021, the city received the money and the work started in September. So the work could have started in the summer of 2021, but the mayor committed to the people that were at that meeting that day. He said, no, we're going to open the center, have it for the summer, and then we'll close it up and we'll start the work. There have been some delays. When you go in the front, you'll see all the new handicap doors. There was almost a month delay in getting those doors. They're still waiting on the push button because those are delayed. The hand dryers that were ordered in the bathrooms, you'll see, aren't in there yet. And there's some things that we're still waiting on the contractor from. But this is a major construction project. Literally, they dug into the ground beneath the building to rerun all the sewer pipes and waste pipes. So you'll see when we go inside. The building is, once it's opened in the next few weeks, it's going to be, it is beautiful today. If you go in, you're not going to recognize the center because it's been painted. All the air ducts have been cleaned. You're going to notice a brand new 85-inch flat screen TV on the wall that will show different programs. So the work has been done. Just as it was promised, the work was done. Now, it's actually less than a year, right? The commissioner said it was going to take a full year to get this work done. It's less than a year. Now, I know everyone's frustrated. There's the Scotty Center on Bronx River Road. There's the Cola Center in Nodine. I know it's not your home base. I know it's not Coin Park, and Coin Park is very special to a lot of people. We get that. And that's why, I mean, literally, that's why we've invested so much money into the center. So the bocce courts were rebuilt. You'll notice there's a brand new barbecue grill over there, the pavilion, which only the seniors will have access to during the day while you're here. Only the seniors will have access to that and the little learners. But we've made these improvements for you, and it took a lot of time because with the pandemic, a lot of things were tough to get. You know, if you ordered windows for your house, where it might have only taken 2 months, it was taking 7 and 8 months to get, you know, windows. So no one wants you in this center more than the mayor and I. We do. We want you in this center. Unfortunately, you know, when people go around and they say, this center's been closed for 2 years. In the middle of a pandemic, right? In the middle of a pandemic when every center was closed for 14 months. Every center was closed for 14 months because of the pandemic. So the center was not closed for 2 years. It was closed during the pandemic. It opened for the summer. And then in September, it closed again so the construction can start. I heard a long list of things that I think you wanted to see done in here, right? The area between this back room and the front room that had that little bump was ground out and it was cleaned up. So it's nice and smooth.
Have to help more people
Right.
falling down.
So it was nice and smooth. 2 big, beautiful handicap bathrooms. Everything was painted. Everything was cleaned. The doors were moved. You'll see it when we get in there. That type of work takes a long time, and it requires the center to be closed to be able to do that for everyone's safety. So when you go in, I think you'll be really surprised. And anyone who called, where's Mr. Hunter? You know, anyone who called, I would explain the work that was being done. He called and I explained to him exactly what we were doing. He said, well, the center was closed for 3 years. And I said, it wasn't closed for 3 years. Unfortunately, this game of telephone gets played and things were blown out of proportion. And I don't want to say anyone was scammed, but the place was not closed for 2 years. So I want to bring you inside now. Right? I'm going to bring you inside, take a look at the work that's been done. There's still a little bit more that has to be completed. And once those things are completed and the fire department and building department sign off, you guys will, yeah, you'll be right in. It'll be before your 90th birthday. And, oh, it's not, oh, well, you put me on the spot then. So come take a walk with me. Take a walk. I want you to see the inside of the building and all the work that's been done. But let me just reiterate. The center was closed during the pandemic for 14 months. 14 months. The construction's been 7 months. The Parks Commissioner said it was going to be a year, but it hasn't been. So come in, see the work that's done. It's almost finished, and then we'll be able to give you an update from the mayor and the Parks Commissioner on the official opening date. We're going to have a big ribbon cutting on a Saturday. Everyone can come. I know someone mentioned about the handicap spots. The handicap spots were moved towards the front because that's where the handicap doors are. The handicap accessible doors are in the front, right? So
Handicaps over there, and these were handicaps.
So they left the same number of handicap spaces when they repainted the lines on Friday. So
Handicaps.
So you'll see when we get up towards the front. You'll see the other spots. So come take a walk with me. Come on.
No, you take a walk with us. We pay your salary.
Now we are going to go inside the facilities to see the work that has been done and the work that still needs to be done. We have Joe Pinion here and other elected officials. So let me...
It's not a big...
anyone who called, I would, like I said.
Hey guys, don't forget, if you want to support Yonkers Voice, please send us some stars. We do all this for you to keep you on the know about what's happening in the city of Yonkers. La gente que quiere ayudar un poquito a Yonkers Voice, pues manden unas estrellas. Hacemos todo esto para ustedes, para que sepan lo que está pasando en la ciudad de Yonkers.
See this up here?
In the house.
Right.
That's the commissioner. Commission session.
See you. I'm watering plants. I'm not making coffee.
You heard him.
It's going to be very nice for our senior who are going to be 103 years old in August.
So there are things that they started. So these literally they had to cut into the ground.
This is the men's bathroom?
This is the men's. So they cut under the ground because they had to run all these waste pipes all over. If you remember, the bathrooms were only over there.
Yes, it was over there.
Right.
And it was ugly and pink from
Right.
1950s.
50s. Yeah, since it was a library.
Yes.
So these are the types of things that have to get completed, and that's why we don't want to have everybody run into the building yet because we have to put the hand dryers, the mirrors. These things are all on back order because the contractor was delayed, and even the doors in the front when you first walk in, they were delayed a month.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, the ladies' room is right there if you want to take a peek.
Thank you.
But everything is painted.
I want to know what's making this handicap accessible. I don't see
They
it.
did a really nice job painting the TV.
No, I'm talking about in the stall. Shouldn't the stall be handicap accessible? I don't see that.
Look, is this the real?
This is the men's.
Oh,
Yep.
That's a wide one.
Every
Those are the
bathroom has a
They
real?
bring their walkers in, they can go
right there.
into the bathroom with their walkers.
Oh, wow.
They could even
Right.
bring the
So you see how,
wheelchairs in.
right, so that's handicap accessible, you can turn the wheelchair around, but, these things are a danger because they're,
They're
we don't
not-
have them in
they're
yet.
unfinished.
Yeah, but it'll be good, even the, there's a sensor on the sinks now.
Doreen, they
so-
could fit a wheelchair in there and they could fit walkers as they go in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just be careful.
Yeah, it's what-
Yes. Yeah. Wonderful. For
Yeah, it's-
what it was
Oh, yeah.
before is 100%.
Oh.
Definitely. Definitely.
No, that was done already. Oh, yeah, that stuff they'll paint. Yeah, they're gonna paint.
That's beautiful.
Windows are just corroded
What's,
on the backside.
yeah. So one of the things the Parks Commissioner did, Steve, and they found a local artist, and so he donated this piece and the piece over there. And it's brighter in here too.
Yeah.
It is bright.
It's cleaner.
Yes.
They took down the blinds because the blinds were filthy.
I can imagine.
So they took down all the blinds, they cleaned everything, the guys painted everything. They hung up the TV here.
Do we have a new sound system?
No, it's the same system, but it was tested. It worked pretty well. It goes through these speakers here, not the speakers that were up there.
Yeah, these work well. The ceiling speakers always work.
And now the entrance to this room is in the middle now. See here? Yeah, so they moved it so they could put the bathrooms. Yeah, everything's painted.
The floor is no level, Rubbo. It's no level, the floor. You can walk and
Mr. Rubbo, I need to show you what needs to be done.
tell me if the floor is level. I want to see the It's no level. Don't ignore me, Rubbo. This is no level. People can go.
I'm not sure.
See this spider egg?
I'm not sure. All I'm in charge of is cleaning this plastic.
Mr. Rubbo, right? See up there? This has always been a problem.
I'm not sure.
Spider eggs.
But they're not done though, guys.
Eggs up there. I'm impressed. Eggs and spider eggs. Okay. Yes, there were spider webs there, and there were always a bunch of eggs up there.
This is styrofoam. This is styrofoam. But it has to be dusted. Now this room's not. Listen,
This room is not done.
Yeah, no, this room they're still working on.
Okay.
Yeah, because look, it's still the same colors. They got the dust everything and clean everything.
No, it's much better. It's much better.
Yeah,
But
this is the area that had that little hump.
I still have it.
No, this
I still have it. And I felt it.
over here is where this is where
You felt it slippery?
No, it's not slippery. It's a bump.
I was in Rochester. I woke up in Rochester yesterday and I was in Albany.
Gentlemen, sorry to interrupt, but I had to. So you're here in support. The changes that we see now, is that what you expected?
Look, I think obviously it's not. You're here to support the seniors to make sure that they get the services that they deserve, but more importantly, the transparency that everyone that lives in Yonkers is entitled to. The taxes are high enough. The actual community engagement is certainly robust enough that people shouldn't have to work so hard to get a little bit of happiness after we've gone through the ravages of COVID. People who have turned houses into homes, put down roots here in Yonkers. So yes, it's encouraging to see what has happened. We wish it would have happened on a shorter time schedule. And I think what most people here wanted was the respect that was owed to them, to just let them know what was happening along the way and not feel as if they had to beg for something that they are otherwise entitled to as stakeholders here in this community. So.
But let's be fair, and let me look at the other side of the coin for a second. We all know that the country was paralyzed for almost 2 years. Things are just reopening. So
the hard truth is that students have been back in school for far some time. We've had individuals that have been back to work for far some time. The notion that somehow that the inability to get coin back up and running is a result of our inability to have the resources or the time to get it done just isn't an honest assessment of what happened here. I think what happened here was that bureaucracy had other priorities, and they finally got around to doing what the seniors had been begging to happen here for far some time, even predating what happened during COVID. So look, at the end of the day, we want to make sure that seniors get what they're entitled to, that their voice is heard, but people shouldn't have to go down to the CVS and take up markers and pens just to get a certain sense of attention and transparency. So look, we're heartened by the efforts. Obviously, this room has still yet to have received the attention that is due. But again, I'm grateful that what has occurred continues to occur, but we still have work to do here in Yonkers, here and in other places as well.
thank you. Mr.
Sure. Yes.
David Tubiolo,
Yes, hi,
would you
Ruben.
like to add, subtract from
Sure.
anything that Mr. Pinion just said?
Thanks for being here. Thank you. No, I'm just happy to advocate for the seniors as always. The seniors were, and the community in general was frustrated. I did communicate with the mayor's office and the councilman's office. They were trying to speed this up as much as possible. I'm happy with the improvements inside. There's a little more to do. But at the end of the day, we're here for the seniors in the community, and we're doing our best together as a team.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roop.
At the end of the day, the main focus is to make sure that people get the same
The Parks Department on Saturday, I came in on Saturday. Rue, I was just saying,
We never knew about it.
Right, so on Saturday there were these 2 big boxes on top of a cabinet, and they had Hershey candy bars, 5-pound Hershey candy bars this big. And so they were from 2013.
You know why? Because nobody cleans in here. That's
So
why.
what we did
you
was
get it?
that's the kind of stuff
No.
that on Saturday, all of these parks the crews, they were here on Saturday
We need the
and they
chocolate
cleaned
bars.
everything up. I met them here about 8:30, 9 o'clock Saturday morning, see what they were doing, and they were cleaning everything. And as of last week,
First time
this
in
still
20
needed a lot of work.
Looks good.
Yeah. So there's a couple little things that need to be finished, and then. So there's only so much money and so much time. So we wanted to prioritize here. We
It
wanted
looks
to,
beautiful, by the way, all that area. Beautiful.
and if you notice too, that there were a lot of older things that, like the big television, you know, yeah, that big TV. So now you have a TV. Right.
So, John, let me ask one of the seniors here. You haven't been inside in a long time.
7 months.
7 months. Now you have. Do you know? Is this what you expected? Are you surprised with the progress?
No.
Are you happy? Well,
I mean,
as
like it.
As
I
humans,
like
we
it,
always
but-
want more. That's normal. But what you see?
I like it.
Yes, what we see, we do
No,
like.
we're impressed.
Right, they've done a good job so far. And what was needed to be done has been done
We're
so
missing
far.
the sliding doors.
But they have
at
to
the
just
entrance.
finish it up now so we could get in here and enjoy ourselves and be together and be with
Yes,
friends.
there is always room for improvement.
Yes.
Okay, even
Yes.
in our own personal lives. But it comes to a point that we say, okay, can we live with this? Are we happy with the progress? Maybe there is more time to change other things.
Right.
You know?
We want
No,
more.
they've done a
That's
good
it.
job.
Yeah. So if you see these doors here, these were also changed, right? And see the electrical components on the top, they're missing the push button. So that's all on delay. Once that's in, they'll put that in. So you have new doors here, new doors in the other room, so you could hit the button and they open.
That's what we need.
And on Saturday, the parks crew, I mean, not just Saturday, they've been here the last several weeks since the contractor wrapped up most of the big construction work. They've painted that room. They've painted this room. They've cleaned everything. On Friday, they had a company come in and clean all the ductwork again, because it was done before construction, and now it was done again after because of all the dust. So there was a lot of work done. These doors here, the Parks Department's, they've reordered doors to match the other rooms. So I think everyone will be happy once we can get it open. Unfortunately, it's hard to give a timeline because we're at the mercy of getting the materials in. And these doors were a big delay, a solid month. When I came in here in February, the doors were not there. The contractor said, yeah, maybe a week. And a month later, they still weren't in, so.
Question now.
Yeah.
Why did they do all the construction outside first?
Sure.
Like the park, the
pavilion
dog
and all?
park that we complain
Yeah.
about. They were concentrating on dog park, where they could have started inside first and then work on the outside.
So what happened is the Parks Commissioner at the time, Tony Landy, now he's the Deputy Mayor. So there were several projects laid out to make the centers handicap accessible. First was Chima, and second was Coin, right? So while Chima was getting their upgrades, we did outside here. And then once Chima was finished inside, so that we had another center that was open, then we were able to close this center and start on this work. But if we close all the centers at one time, then you have nowhere to go.
So, but we had
Yeah.
no knowledge of this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We thought
That
what we
was the
saw is
frustration.
what we saw from the outside. We didn't see anything that was going on inside.
Right.
So that's what we're saying. Why they doing it outside?
Yeah.
Mostly that's for the community, like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
exercise machine. I said, why did they do that instead of working on the inside first?
Yeah, so and it's because of the phases of all of the different projects around the city and the timeline that we can go and borrow the money to do the work. We don't want to borrow too much money all at once because otherwise your taxes go up. Yeah. But now everything is is basically on schedule. This is really ahead of schedule because, like I said, the Parks Commissioner said it was going to be a year.
That's not true.
Yeah, Tony Landy said it was going to take 1 full year before all of the construction work was completed here. And he said that in April. You were at the meeting in this room with the mayor. And Tony Landy at the time said it was going to be 12 months to do all of the work in here. And it didn't take 12 months. Right now we're at 7, and hopefully by the time everything gets, completed It'll be much less than a
So
year.
now that everyone saw the progress, anyone wants to take back anything that we said outside?
No.
I'd like to say something.
You know why?
You can't take it back. The
you-
damage is already
exactly.
done.
And no, we have right to express our feelings.
No one is saying you don't.
You
What
know?
I'm saying is now that you saw the progress, now that you know
We
the
are very
work is being
happy.
done,
Yes.
you are happy. So when
Yes.
we were outside and you were speaking, you had no idea for what was going on inside.
Right.
Now you do.
Exactly.
Now
We
you
do,
see.
and we are very grateful.
I was here on April 25th last Monday, and I was able to come in. Some Teamsters said that, they're in the back having a meeting. Come on in. I have video I can show you. This place was disgusting. Garbage everywhere. This wasn't painted. And I posted that on Facebook. Within a few days, this is what you got. So which is wonderful, but why didn't you do it a year ago?
So are you implying that this happened because of...
Yes, I am.
I would just say this. I think that the harder truth that a lot of people here are dealing with is that if it was time that was required, then there was a shorter time period in which the work occurred. Don't say that the place had to be shut down for a year and change if the work was not ongoing over that entire period of time. And so I think the people feel as if they've been slighted on two fronts. That in one ways they were denied access to the facility based on the premise that work was occurring. But then during that period in time where they were not actually able to enjoy the time that they had with their friends, you're in the midst of an unprecedented period of time where we lost so many loved ones, that the work actually wasn't getting done. So I just think in general, there's a lack of transparency that had a lot of people frustrated.
Yes,
Obviously, the work that's been done is appreciated, but also to be clear, the work that is done is what is required of the city to meet their obligation to the citizens that allow the city to have the resource to get stuff done. So obviously, we're grateful to Councilman Rubbo for coming down here, and he didn't have to be here, so we're grateful for that, and obviously all the other individuals from the city of Yonkers. But again, for me, I'm just here as a person from Yonkers, like all of them, who said, look, we came down here, like many people in the midst of COVID, to get stuff done and make sure that these seniors could be heard. And I think they feel as if they're being heard now. I think the frustration is, why do they have to work so hard to get that attention?
But we have learned something. Social media is a powerful tool, I guess, nowadays.
Absolutely.
You guys went on social media, you posted, you talked about, and bang, it happened. So next time you have a problem, go on social media.
Well, I wouldn't say that,
especially
Ruth.
Yonkers Voice.
Well, yes, you should go on. You should go on Yonkers Voice. Yes, absolutely. But this room was painted last week. There was stuff everywhere because it's towards the end of a construction project. Now, the work was being done. We had a meeting in April of last year. The mayor came out and explained the work that would be done. He said the center would close in September and that the construction would occur, right? There was a pandemic. If anyone says that this center should have been open during the pandemic is irresponsible.
No, we don't.
This
It
is
is.
before the pandemic.
But as we have explained,
Same signs from last year.
right? And as we explained, so as we explained a few minutes ago, as I've explained for the last 2 years, I'll explain it again. There were several projects that where the centers needed to be upgraded to have handicap accessible bathrooms. This was the second center to be done. The first was Chima. So Chima started just before the pandemic. So during that time, we did the outside work because we didn't want to shut down multiple centers at once. When Chima was completed, we started the work here. So the center wasn't closed for 2 years.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
So you know when you get those calls from Con Edison, they say you owe $1,000 and they're scamming seniors? You're being scammed, folks. You're being scammed by that woman over there. The center was not closed.
No, yes it was.
Hey, John, there were rumors that there were threats that if the people kept complaining, they were going to delay the opening of the center.
There
Is that
no
true?
delay. Let me explain. We're only as quick as the construction can happen. It's only. Let me finish.
Sure.
The center was not closed for 2 years. I know
3 years.
It was not closed for 3 years. Okay? When was the beginning of 3 years? It was March of 2020. It opened in 21.
No.
It was closed in September. Yes, it was. It was opened in the summer of 21.
It was open for 2 months.
And then it closed 7 months ago. Right? It was closed in 7 months ago. Now, the center probably would have been closed much earlier because some people were writing and saying, because of the Justice Department, it has to be closed. They were trying to get you kicked out of here a long time ago because they wrote letters to the Justice Department.
To fix the bathrooms. There was a woman that urinated on
the
herself.
center.
She could not access the
What
bathroom.
about the safety complaints and the
Yes.
problems with the handicap?
3 people fell.
And as I said, from before.
There you go.
And in June of 2019, you could go back to the tape where we interviewed then Commissioner Landy in the Parks Department, and he laid out a plan. Because I said, whoa, what about coin? He said, we're going to do Chima first, then we're going to do coin, and then I believe they're going to do COLA. Is that
the
administration? Oh, the administration building.
Because it's public hearing.
Right.
Can I just say one thing?
So that is the timeline. The building was not closed for 3 years. 3 years would have been 2019, right? We're open. It was open in all of last summer. The mayor committed to you. Actually, it was to you, right? So we have to thank you for opening the center last summer because you asked. You said we want to come back. And the mayor said, you know what, it'll be open in the summer before the construction starts.
Excuse me, that's when the parking lot was used for dance and exercise. So these doors were not open for us to actually go in.
This building was open last summer.
I remember
This building, who was in this building last summer? Because Doreen sat outside and told people on the first day, don't go inside, it's not healthy.
That's right. It was open in July.
That's when
It was
it
open in July, but that room was restricted and no one couldn't go to that room, that particular room. July to September,
Right,
yes, it was open.
Right, the center was open July to, right? So it was not closed for 3 years. It was not even closed for 2 years. It was closed during a pandemic, right? It was closed during a pandemic.
But the repairs that needed to be done was prior to the pandemic, okay? The bathroom, the air filtration system. It has nothing to do with the pandemic.
Right.
Then the pandemic comes and everything was slowed down. How come Theodore Young Community Center was able to put down a brand new gymnasium floor and welcomed us with open arms to go there? That's where a lot of these seniors are going. Why can't we go here? I pay taxes in Young. Can I
Once
come here
it's
for
open-
activities tomorrow? Or we're still waiting for the spring? You told me on the phone, spring it will be open.
Yes, it will be open in the
I'm wondering why
spring.
it hasn't been open last spring. Because you couldn't get the workers in here?
Because we were in the middle of a pandemic.
So what?
I'm going to.
Well, so I
People are still working during the pandemic.
So anyway, folks,
I know.
the Parks Department has worked extremely hard to get the place up to date, right? It hasn't been closed for 3 years. It's been closed. It was closed for 14 months in a pandemic. I think, you know, everyone here is reasonable. It was closed for 14 months for the pandemic.
Okay, all
It
other
was then
centers are
open for a few
everywhere,
months.
And this is not open.
It's not open because for the last 7 months they just had a major construction.
Now we're going around on the same thing. So
let's everyone. Hi, I'm just going to speak real. Hi, I just want to get everyone's attention. One sec. May I just say something, everyone? Thank you, everyone. I just want to say thank you for being here. Thanks, Danny. Thanks, Danny. Real quick, I want to give a special thank you to everyone who helped make this happen. At the end of the day, we are getting what we want. We have wonderful new bathrooms. We have a clean new space, and we're going to be here very soon. I just want to say thank you, especially to the Parks Department and DPW making this happen. So I want to say I love the new bathrooms. The issue that happened, unfortunately, recently will never happen again to my knowledge. The bathrooms are new and better. I'm here for you, and I just want to say I'm here. I can't wait to see everyone here in a very short period of time. And this is much cleaner, much nicer, and I hope you're happy with it. So I just want to thank everyone, and especially the city workers for helping out. And I want to thank all the advocates as well, the senior advocates, and everyone coming together. And hopefully we're going to be here together very shortly.
I would like to thank Steve. Yes, Steve and we've been communicating and we've been talking, and it seems like Steve Sassone has got things moving a little bit faster than it was before. Because again, from 2018, we have been complaining about this center, and no one was listening to us. We did send out information telling everyone, letters went out, politicians, everybody, telling them what was going on here in this center. Yes, the pandemic hit, but all this stuff was from 2018 when we were letting everybody know what was wrong in here.
And those weren't even acknowledged.
They weren't acknowledged. We even sent pictures. Pictures went out to 5 different people, letting them know how this place looked. So I want to thank you, yes, for moving a little faster.
I think what we need
That was a heavy one. Scammed by that woman over there. And the finger was pointing at you, Kelly. What you have to say?
You know, I'm tired. I'm doing this in the city 30 years. I don't feel well today. I'm here in support of the seniors. You know, this is a gentleman that actually sat down with me with Zay Jarris at a diner and promised me a job in DPW for a family member, $60,000 to $70,000 that he said the mayor knew about if I didn't run against him. So if this is who you want, then this is what you want. I didn't say anything and I wouldn't have said anything, but I'm not going to be attacked. This is the last time I'm going to be attacked. There's more things I know illegally done in this city, and this is not okay.
So, Kellen,
people there, seniors, just open the center. It's not okay.
But the statement that you just made,
yes, sir, it's true.
There is strong implications.
Oh, it's true, and I'm done. And I think maybe the world needs to know what the city is doing here.
So why don't you tell us what the city is doing? So maybe people need to know. It's about transparency, right?
It's about the corruption. It doesn't stop. Now we're looking at a 4th term. Is this what you want? We want to continue to support the friends and family. We want to continue to let an ex-felon that now has his real estate license tell the city. I mean, we have, if you look at everybody, the way the players are on this chessboard, it has to be enough. We have, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Karen.
I mean, the setup of the city is disgusting. I mean, we have Jamie Spano, who's the IDA, married to Vinny Spano. And then we have Nick Spano, who has his licenses and selling our real estate. This is all proven stuff. And there's questions about prices on the real estate, the developers. I'm not going to get into all that, but I'm not going to be attacked by a man that sat there and committed public corruption. And I went to a lawyer, a very famous one, and I asked them. They said this because I said that's legal. And here's the funny part: I wasn't going to run anyway. I have an autoimmune disease, and the lawyer said, "Are you out of your mind? Stay away from those people."
Now, Kelly, I have to ask you something. Normally, I know everything, or at least I think I do. You know, 4th term. What does that mean?
That means that they're waiting to go to. John either thinks he's going to be mayor or they're going to go for a 4th term because his numbers weren't good last time against Carlos Burgos and unknown. So to go to 4th term would mean that they'd have to get the city council, unfortunately.
4th term on what?
For mayor.
Mayor told us that he's not going for a 4th term.
Yeah, he told you that the last time, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know, it's just enough. To sit here and accuse me, this gentleman accused me and not think I'm going to defend myself. You know, I don't get paid for any of the volunteer work I do. I care about people. I paid for it because of my mother. You know, my mother was a very ill woman and people did really good, kind things for us. But don't attack me. Well, that's the kind of representative you want. That's the elected official you want. That's going to attack somebody that's helping the seniors, that cares about them, that doesn't get paid for it.
She cares more than he was caring for the longest time.
Well, thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
I am